Welcome to The Real Entrepreneur.
Warts and all.
Today, well, before we get into what we're going to talk about today, who the heck are we? Patty?
I'm not sure. Let me look at my name tag. But I'm Patty, the small biz sales coach, and I help grow businesses to have fun and make money.
Yes, and I am Kathy Barthel, also known as Bratty Kathy from Take on the World. And what I do is make you irresistible to your ideal clients through copy. So through the words in all of your content and also in the words you say on video.
Very important.
Yes.
Attract, right? Attract or repel. It's very
Exactly.
important.
Yeah. So I help you attract them and
I help you close them.
Yeah. So you need both of us.
Exactly. What a team, eh?
Exactly.
Yay.
So
And
today,
today's episode is the second of a two-part one. Last time we spoke about how to find a real business coach versus a fake one, and today we talk about the difference between a business coach and a business consultant, because there's a huge difference in what they deliver and how they work, and you need to be aware of it.
yeah, exactly. And this is an interesting piece because I think most people in the online business space know that there are many, many coaches out there. And when you go to typical events, you hear about and you meet lots of business coaches, but you don't typically meet a lot of business consultants. Or you talk to people at an organization you're belonging to and you ask, so what kinds of business owners are in this organization? And you hear all these different ones and you often hear business coach, but you don't typically hear business consultant.
Yeah, because that's
but it's
really
a different thing.
I mean, consultants. I was a consultant. I was a small business consultant for the last 20 years of my 25 years as a self-employed serial entrepreneur. Yeah. But the consultants are usually in big corporations, the enterprises. That's where consultants move in, like the Deloitte, the KPMG, the big names.
Yeah.
They're usually consultants. They go in and they consult and they advise, and they might do special projects, but their coaching is a different skill set.
I think that's the piece, because when you're starting a business, if you've seen some of these shows, you know that Patty is a serial entrepreneur, veteran of a lot of different businesses. And I got into the entrepreneur space as what is called an accidental entrepreneur, meaning I had other, different roles in my career that I played prior to this point, prior to starting a business. So what happens when you want to start a business is you're smart, you know there's a process to everything in your other positions you've had. So you look for someone to help you. And what you hear in the online business space is you need a business coach to help you build your business.
Yeah.
Right?
So you get your, how to build a business for dummies book and you go, oh my God, I can't figure this out. Yeah. I need some help. So you go to a networking event and you find this business coach. The problem is that a lot of times these coaches will actually portray themselves as business builders. They help you build your business. And I call it the bait and switch, because when it comes down time to actually helping you grow your business, they then fall back, but I'm just a coach. I help you through questioning, get the best out of you. I don't actually show you a damn thing, to be honest. And it's harsh. It's harsh. I understand. But when they pull the coach's card, because the definition of a coach is that I get the best out of you. You have to be motivated from within. It's very noble.
Well,
but it's...
Yeah. Well, and
it's an F word that wants to come out.
Relax, Patty, relax. I give her something to drink, but we're doing a business show here.
Here we go.
But the thing is, if you've got kids in sports, after school, if you've ever done it yourself, you're there on the soccer field and you've got the coach and they're saying to you, show me what you want to do. Do you want to get the ball, at a certain place on the field? I mean, I don't know sports, so I can't really give you specifics. But, they're helping you get to wherever it is you want to go. But the idea is you've had some training. You understand what those plays are in soccer or hockey or whatever. And the coach is working with somebody, who knows essentially the game and the rules and so on. They're just going to help you get there. And that's what a coach does.
Well, a sports coach gets the best out of you because they might not be as athletic as you are, but they know the wisdom of how the game is played, and they get the best out of you.
Right, or they were they used to play, right?
Yeah.
And we have that kind of a model, but then we don't think about how when you transfer that over to a business, it doesn't exactly work the same way, because if you're like me and you're starting a business, you don't really know what all those pieces are. So you're automatically thinking that that business coach, who is called a business coach, is going to help you with that.
Because they advertise that, well, you know, I grew a 6-figure business in 6 months, so I can show you how to do the same.
Yay!
And so that's
Show
what you
me.
buy in, right?
Show me.
At, you know, substantial dollars, right?
Yes. Yes.
And what do you actually get for that investment? You've had some
experiences.
Yes.
Yeah, and we know a lot of people that have. And what I would just say about it, from what I have seen out there and from other business owners who have worked with business coaches, is my belief, and I don't know about your experience, but frankly, I think the model is deeply flawed,
that's
to say the least.
yeah. So the model is flawed. The way people are selling themselves as business coaches is flawed.
Yeah.
And it comes down to really simple determination, right?
Well, you need the time. You need to put in the time. You know, I'm a writer. I write people's copy and so on. And I often think of this, I've said this to Patty, I think of this in a similar way, in the sense that there are people out there who will write your copy and they will say to you, oh, Mary, just give me whatever you've got about yourself, whatever, LinkedIn or whatever, and I'll just make it, you know, out of whole cloth. I'll just make this beautiful thing.
I'll jazz it up and make you look amazing,
Yeah,
even though it's got nothing to do with you. Because
Yeah, I don't need to know you. I don't need to interview you. No. In about a week and a bit, I'll make it. I'll just
you just write some fiction, right? It's
right?
just fiction,
Yeah, you know.
instead of nonfiction.
Exactly. But anybody knows that when you're writing copy, it's a deeper process, because, you know, when you're a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, your business is your voice, is your brand, is you. It's all one thing. And you got to go deep to get that material out. It's the same thing with a coach.
Yeah.
You can't learn how to build a business in a few short hours a month, or
Short hours, 1 hour.
less than an hour.
Sometimes,
Here's the example that I've seen, and I have to say I've witnessed, because I've worked with different coaches. And essentially, you pay quite a decent price for the year. And what happens is you start with a VIP day. And to be honest, as a word nerd and as an editor, this drives me crazy, because it's called a VIP day and seldom is it a full day.
Exactly.
It's typically 3.5 hours. So it's not really a full day to begin with. But it's very exciting. And it's the whole, you know, drinking from the water hose, you know, and you're talking about what you want to build. And you might be talking about a couple of particular items that are on your big wish list. And you go deep, and you have Post-it calendars all over the wall and colored markers, and it's exciting. Oh my God,
This is
it's
your
exciting.
new dream life on your way
my
to
God.
the 6 figures in
Yes.
6 months.
And it's great. That is just a rush, right? But then
Then
what
what
happens?
happens?
What happens after that very often is you then have maybe two typically phone calls a month with that coach, and they're for 30 minutes. And you've gone from, you know what I often think of it, Patty? It's like, you know, if you've got a house and for some bizarre reason, you're going out into the backyard and you got a shovel and you're digging a huge big hole. And it's really fun and invigorating when you're digging this hole. But then what happens is kind of like the coach leaves and takes the shovel.
Oh.
You know, and you're out in the backyard and
Oh,
you're
God.
looking.
It gets really hard doing it with the...
What do I do with all this dirt? That's all. It's been very exciting to dig this hole, and then you kind of look and you go, "There's a dark cloud.
Ooh,
It might rain."
So how do I build a business if I get 30 minutes every 2 weeks of advice?
Well, this is it. And then the other part of the model
Okay.
is that, yeah, there's more.
Okay.
You know, we know this. There's always more. What ends up happening then is, yes, you also are typically in a Facebook group. And that's great. That's with all these other people who are coaching with this person. But oftentimes there's an element of the blind leading the blind, because you're all there sharing like crazy, but none of you really knows how to build a business.
And none of you're not building the same kind of business at the same level, where you're with,
No.
you know, different calibers of businesses.
Of course,
right?
yeah. And so
some are
you're-
making $50 an hour and some are making $250.
Yeah.
Or want to make $250.
Right. And so you're giving each other advice, and that's great. And the coach will dip into the Facebook page as often as they can. But again, the model, seriously, is flawed, because it's just not enough time. So you've got that big pile of dirt in the backyard,
Yeah.
and nothing's being done with it. It's getting rained on. You're getting a big pile of mud.
But in 2 weeks, I'll come back and let you have my shovel for 30 minutes, and then I'll take my shovel back again.
Yeah.
And it's like you're stuck again for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And
So the way I work as a comparison, and this is what I found to be successful, and the only way that I can really be successful, is I spend at least an hour a week with my clients, because there's a lot of stuff sometimes you have to get through on the intro, that you've had a bad week, somebody said no, you've had some downfalls. You got to lift that person up, because that's what a coach does.
Exactly.
That coach is your best cheerleader. So you got to lift that person back up where they're open to, okay, so you had a bad time. I have such a thick skin, and I just share how to get through that. Don't take a no personally. It just means next opportunity. So we go on, and then we spend the next 30 to 45 minutes working on what are you going to do for the next week on your business to make it to the six figures.
Yeah.
And then I do it again the week later. I spend another hour going through the same stuff. How was last week? How was this week? What are you going to do? And we do this. So I spend at least 4 hours. Sometimes could be an hour and a quarter, an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I've spent 2 hours when it's really important, because
as a coach, you know that. You're not necessarily sure, you're aware of the 30 minutes, the same as I am if I'm interviewing you for copy. But if something's coming up in that moment for the person,
I know
you've got to honor that and stay with that.
Well, it's like I'm on the clock, but I'm not on the clock.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I think it's like, because people, the main thing is people don't give a crap about our titles. They don't care what you call yourself, a consultant, a coach, an expert, a guru, a fluffy nutter, a bunny rabbit. They want results. That's what they buy their services for. Is you have promised, I'm saying some people out there promise you, I made six figures, I can show you how to do it, and then they have to deliver.
Yeah.
And when they don't deliver is because the model's broken,
Yeah.
they don't spend enough time, and they really don't have the expertise.
Well, this is it. And exactly. And we don't know any of those pieces if there isn't the expertise there. We don't know until we get into it.
Yeah.
And there are often programs that they have as well, that you get a discount or whatever, or maybe you get it for free.
Group programs.
Yeah, like a day or a 2-day event. But the problem with that is it may not be the event and the topic that you need at that stage in your business.
Exactly.
So it's great that it's available, but it might be better for you to have it 6 months later,
But it's one of those things that they, like the wait, there's more, where they start selling, they're saying you get this and you get this and you get this, and if you sign today, you get $98,000 worth of bonuses, but only if you sign today. Yes. But those bonuses are only worthwhile if you actually implement what you're learning, because nothing else matters.
Well, this is
right?
it. It's not integrated. This is the piece.
Yeah.
All of these pieces need to be integrated with enough time. So what we're saying is, do your due diligence, talk to people. The next time you're at a networking event, ask people. If they say I'm a business coach, ask them what they do. And be aware the kinds of things, Patty, maybe just quickly, what are the consultant types of things?
A consultant will come in and say, hey, and be like a diagnostic, what's the word? Like a doctor, diagnose the problem, go, oh, that's where the pain is. Now that pain is caused by this, and this is what you should do. And then the coach in me takes over, because there's hybrids. I'm a consultant coach because I have been a consultant for so long. I'm tired of doing it for my clients.
Yeah.
What I want to do is see the project implemented.
Yeah.
As a consultant, you're kind of at arm's length.
Yeah.
And once the project's over, it's over, whether they do a good implementation or not.
And I think the other piece too is that as a consultant in a business coach consultant point of view, is somebody who's going to come in and actually help you. I want to learn, I want to do the marketing. How do I do that? How do I set up my business plan? How do I work? What is the fourth quarter? These are really solid. Some people, it's like,
what's the cash flow?
But yeah,
watch your money run away with the wrong kind of coach.
But these are what we're talking about. These are the nuggets, right? This is not what you often get with a business coach, which is a lot of stuff around, say, the soft skills piece, the mindset and different things like that. And as we say, the coach model from sports, where you
don't get me on mindset. Don't get me on mindset. Yes,
but. So we're trying to show you the difference, right? The consultant is all of these really specific things. How do I market? How do I make a sales call? How do I do all these things? And the coach isn't quite that specific typically. We're starting to see various versions of this merge.
The thing is, Kathy, is that they do like a bait and switch. Is when they're on stage and you see them and they sell themselves, their copy says, oh, I'm this business guru. I can help you make six figures.
Yes.
So, but when it comes
build
down,
a business.
build a business.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the nitty gritty of, okay, we've got this coaching relationship.
Yeah.
It's been 3 or 6 months and I'm no further ahead.
Exactly.
In fact, I'm actually even worse off because I'm paying you all this money and my business is going downhill.
I'm not getting all that business coming in as a result.
I'm going in debt because I'm paying you $1,000 or $2,000 a month and I'm not getting even that back.
Yeah.
So that's what I call the bait and switch, where they sell themselves as a consultant, but they actually then act as a coach because it's your limiting belief, not mine.
Was it really me?
It is
Oh,
you.
it was me all along.
It's your scarcity mindset. Oh my God, it's
What do I
awful.
do?
It's awful. You poor orphan. You poor orphan.
So what we're
Peddling
saying
is
is
awful.
do your diligence. Really, really nail these people. If you meet somebody at an event, find out what it is. Bring your wish list. Get to know what is it you need to know. Is it marketing? Is it sales tips? What is it that's concrete to building a business? Do your research about what building a business, what the elements are. And then talk to these people and make sure,
They've done that for other people.
yes, and that's in fact what they do. Get them to actually say so. They might come back with, well, it depends. We have to sit down. We have to have a call. I don't know what you need. Not good enough.
No.
Not good enough.
You want references. You want past clients that they've worked with like 2, 3, 4 years ago that are going to give them that was the best investment I made in my business because it gave me a foundation.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get started, but anything takes time. Nobody is here to be a millionaire overnight because that just so rarely happens.
And a good business coach / consultant is going to give you that, it's okay, it's been a difficult day, it's okay. They're going to get through that, and then they're going to give you the actual solid nuggets that you need to build a business.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Okay. All right, so what's next episode?
Next episode, we are going to talk about the thing that I cannot stand.
The A
word. It's not what you think.
It's not the AH word. Nope. Oops.
She
Okay.
just really likes to spell.
I do.
Really?
It's like to swear, but
Yeah, well, there's that.
you always soak my mouth after these episodes. So
No, what is with that?
Okay.
Anyways, next week we're going to talk about authenticity and why it is a bad word.
okay, that sounds interesting.
So-
So remember to share, like, and comment, engage with us. Tell us what you want to see us cover in future episodes. But thanks for being part of us.
And don't forget, before we go away, tell us what your experience has been with coaches
Oh, that'd be great.
and consultants. Did you
Yes.
know the difference? Have you had a consultant? What would you prefer? What didn't work for you? Did you get burnt? You don't have to name names
Until
unless you
she's a
want to.
journalist, she's asking questions. Yeah, I want the facts,
We
ma'am.
want solid meat coming,
Yeah.
to
Tell
you
us.
from us and from you as well.
Yeah, wonderful. Remember, how do we roll?
We roll. Real is how we roll, Patty.
Exactly. So stay real. See you next time.
Ciao. Thanks for checking in.